Hello, everyone. Welcome to another movie chat with myself, Joe Mayo, and also Tim Allen.
Hello.
Home Improvement. You know, we've heard of him before.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't think Tom Hunyadi is able to make it tonight, so there will be no Tom unless he surprises us or something. And he said he had like 4 new theatrical movies to talk about. I guess he saw. I don't know if it's 4 movies or 4 theatrical movies. But okay, wait a minute. We have it. I forget the name. Is it Sasha? Is that the name of Mellow Fellow? Help me with that one because I keep forgetting. I gotta put a link out there. So hold on a minute. He's one thing I never thought about when I put a public link out. I was watching an old show, and the public link still comes up for an old show. And if you click on the public link, it still takes you to the thing, even though it's a long defunct video, a long defunct live stream. So, hello, James Farley. I forget if I put Mike Waljasper up there. Hi, hello, Mike. Mellow, they call him Mellow Fellow. Cherry Carter. Rome loves a Dan. Okay, hold on a minute. Hey, there he is.
Hi.
That was nice and quick this week.
Yeah, you're right. You got my name right.
I got it right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's see now. Put the volume up a little bit. Okay, I'm getting. There's a reason I'm taking some time here. I'm trying to time this good, but hold on. I can't time it that well. Ramoga's here. Say hello to Ramoga, everyone. Oh man,
it never gets old. I don't know what it is.
He loves that. Ramoga does. Never too late for Tom. Never too late, right? It's never too late. That's my latest video that I did over at my Mayo Loves Mondays channel. Check it out. Most of you already belong to it. 4D man, usually I guess he'll pop up.
I actually just discovered that you've got 2 other channels I didn't know about. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Well, it depends what your interests are. If you don't like the Beatles, there's no reason to go over to my main channel, Mean Mr. Mayo. And the other one is about retirement and lifestyle. But you don't have to be retired, to just about life and problems and good and bad and ranting about bad things for laughs. Love is victory, yell. Yeah. Godzilla's victory.
Ranting about bad things. Constructive criticism, I like to think of it as.
Constructive criticism? Yes, there's a way of looking at it. Yeah, Tom Tom looks a little different. Yeah, good. So we got different new blood, so to speak, here. I was hoping that Tom could talk about the new movie that I call, which I haven't seen, that I will call Super Lush, the Supergirl movie. And I'm glad I've heard that it's doing horribly. It made $38 million when it opened, and it cost $180-something million to make.
Yeah, it's not good.
So I love it. Oh, I'm loving it to hear that, because I don't know. I just
it covers the catering costs anyway.
Yeah, catering, and that's about it, right? That's about it. Because look, I'm not going to judge the movie because I haven't seen the movie. I just know that I don't want to see it at all because I saw the end of Superman, the new Superman, and they had a cameo at the end with Supergirl, annoying as hell to me, in my opinion. So I'm wearing my Soylent Green shirt. It's the year 2022, the future. Yeah.
Wow.
Constantly keep it. Wait a minute. Okay, it's the year 2022. People are still the same. They'll do anything to get what they need, and they need Soylent Green. And there they are, all getting scooped up. Bunch of riots, very much like the 2020s riots. You can't see here because it's too low, but there's people wearing face masks because the air's bad. So I bought this back in 2022 so I could wear it. I couldn't wait to bring in the new year with this shirt, and that is what I did. Now, let's see. I'm going to show you some stuff that I picked up this past week. Okay, I went with my friend Anthony. Did a video about this already, but I'll just show you for those who haven't seen it, and for posterity. I would say they gave me this bag. Store called Book Off, because they buy and sell and have used books and movies and everything too. I wish they didn't call it Book Off because it's about more than books. As you see, what does it say there? Books, movies, music, anime, figures. And this cost 30 cents. At the end, when I bought my movies, they said, "You want to get a bag for 30 cents?" I'm like, I didn't do a speech. I didn't do what. This would be what a rant video would be about. I'd make a subject. I remember when you used to get a bag for free. Those days are gone. Now I had to pay 30 cents. That was the kind of videos over there that I do.
Well, that's the government. It's got nothing to do with
retail. With their name on it. So you're advertising them. You're paying them to advertise.
Radio. Radio.
Yeah, but you might not know this being from the UK, but a lot of states in the US have outlawed pretty much all bags that aren't recyclable. Even paper bags, they don't want you using. Plastic bags gone. So cloth bags, that's it. That's all we got.
Well, it's ridiculous because when I go food shopping, so many other things are in plastic. You buy things in plastic that you purchase, and then you don't have a plastic bag to bring them home.
Exactly. I've worked in retail. Every garment you buy, every T-shirt comes in its own little plastic sleeve, and you got to take it out and you throw those all away, and that's fine. But a consumer can't have a plastic bag. It's ridiculous.
Yes. Okay, I should have taken all these off because some of these are embarrassing. This one, all right, this one was a little hefty. The prices at Book Off depends on what you're buying. Some of them are ridiculous. I showed in the video that I remembered that they had the Blondie. I thought the old 40s and 50s series of movies. I thought they had there, and I passed it up the last time I went. This time when I went there, it was I didn't even know there was a 1950s TV show of it. That was what they had. It wasn't the movies, so I didn't bother picking it up. But let me. Well, I have a large screen for this. The prices, okay. Now this is the East Side Kids. I got all kinds of stuff with them. The Bowery Boys later they were called. And they had all different kinds of incarnations, but. This one has double feature number 3, Bowery Blitzkrieg and Spooks Run Wild. I got it for Spooks Run Wild, Bela Lugosi. Picture of Bela Lugosi there on the left. Digitally restored. My ass. And I knew it wasn't going to be digitally restored because this is one of those public domain films that's always looked like it went through a meat grinder. It's always looked like that. And no matter what copy you have, it's always going to look like crap. I don't even know if it's the kind of thing anybody would ever find the original elements to or be able to restore. So I got this one. I just put it on. It still looks like shit. So I took a chance. It was a $9 chance.
Digitally restored in 480p.
Yeah.
That's not helpful.
Stored in 100p. All right. Then I picked up. Oh, man. I'm trying to go in certain order here. March of the Wooden Soldiers. Now, I love this movie, Babes in Toyland, originally called. This is a Good Times release of this, colorized. I don't like colorization. I can't stand it usually, but I had an old DVD of this in a snapper case. This is not a snapper. And I got rid of it for whatever reason, but I remember I liked that colorization job on it. I thought they did a good job. It's one of the few films I like colorized, and as everybody knows, I think Laurel and Hardy really wanted this, especially Stan Laurel, to be in color, but it was not. It was done in black and white. It's very festive, and it's like the Wizard of Oz or something. It's very colorful. So anyway, I got it back again. When I want to watch it, will I watch that one or will I watch
which he was in the original Wizard of Oz, right? Stan Laurel was.
I don't think so, unless I missed something.
I mean, predating the Judy Garland one. I mean,
I don't know. I didn't know this.
Yeah, the first original Wizard of Oz, he was in it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you. This is still sealed. This was a movie with Andy Griffith called Patricia Neal called A Face in the Crowd. I used to catch this on TCM, Turner Classic Movies. And Elia Kazan production. This is good because it's got him a totally different character as a very wild politician. It says here his movie debut as a big old teddy bear whose I can't say the word, meteoric rise to TV fame is paralleled by his plunge into booze, sex, and political corruption. And I think I get this mixed up there was a movie where he's a bigot against type, which I thought was interesting. I don't think that. Yeah,
it's not that.
And I saw, I like that movie. Now this is one, from the horror and science fiction camp. It's called Fire Maidens from Outer Space, 1950s cheapo. And I saw this, I think, in the 90s on a friend's cruddy VHS tape that was recorded from, I think, a 16 millimeter. And it was a pretty boring movie, but they had a lot of nice fire maidens in it, I guess. So I figured, let me give this a try. It was cheap enough. I figured, let's look at a good copy of it and see how that is. Now, this next one, I've talked about this on here and I've recommended it. This was $9, a little more. Cecil B. DeMille's The Sign of the Cross, which is the uncut pre-code version that has a lot of racy stuff in it for its time. So it's interesting to watch this with Frederick March, Claudette Colbert, Charles Lawton. This is recommended. You won't believe the stuff that they get away with in here for the 30s.
That's the one with the milk bath, isn't it?
Yes, it has a milk bath. She's in a milk bath. And there's also something with a gorilla, I remember, like they tie the Christians in the arena or something, and I think a gorilla goes after one of them or something. Anyway, it's very vivid. I thought I was done with my snapper case collecting just for the snapper cases, but I did pick this one up because it's such a nice looking case for $5. And Margaret with Elvis, Viva Las Vegas. Yeah. You can see the disc is one of those annoying. I think it's like one side is full screen and one side is widescreen.
Yeah, I like those actually because it gives you the option. Back in the day, people didn't have widescreen TVs, so it gave you the option. And
finally, I've been looking for this for a while. I was waiting for Blu-ray. I did some research. It never came on Blu-ray, and it's an old DVD here from the early 2000, I think, or thereabouts, and it's comedy. What About Bob? Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. And this is the movie that I'm going to talk about because it's one of the movies that I actually watched. I've seen it in the cinema. I'm starting to get into the habit of calling it cinema because what you said last week, I think, about you think of theater, you think of like
the stage, actors, live performance. That's me.
Yeah. So anyway, this movie, What About Bob? I saw this in the cinema, and it was funny. I thought I love Richard Dreyfuss, and I like Bill Murray, so that's why I went to see it. And Richard Dreyfuss plays one of his comic roles in here as a psychiatrist that starts out, very professional, but ultimately gets driven crazy by a patient named Bob, who has all kinds of mental disorders and attachment to his therapist to the point where he follows him on vacation and he won't leave him alone and his family. And he absolutely makes life hell for him. And Richard Dreyfuss unravels more and more and gets crazier as the time goes on. So I think it's a fun movie. It was reported that they hated each other or they didn't get along anyway. I don't know about hate each other. They did not get along, the two of them, at all. It's just stuff of legend. But, since I saw it in the cinema, I saw it on video a couple of times. And this is like, here's all these movies. Some of them, the other day, a few weeks ago, I bought like 60 or 90 movies or something I've never seen. What do I go for? The one I saw, the one I know. I grabbed the pile. And we had a good time, my girlfriend and I, watching this. But the thing is, you ever get to a time where you see a movie and you're like, I think I had my fill of it? You ever have that? You think, I don't know if I need to see it anymore.
Yeah, when you know it very well. Mind you, that's not always the case. I mean, I think I feel with that film. I think I feel the same.
Oh yeah, and it's like Anyway, but there's these next one I'm going to show you. I only watched 2 movies that I remember. So I got together with my friend Anthony the other day, and he wanted to watch an old Universal horror. Another one I've seen 100 times, and when I was a kid too. And this is one though I never get tired of the Universal classics. So this one is from the Invisible Man Legacy collection, and we were going to watch both the original Invisible Man and the first sequel. I say that loosely, The Invisible Man Returns, which is really nothing to do with the first one. I like it's one of those situations where I love The Invisible Man. It's the superior film, but since we only had time for one, I said I'd rather see the sequel, whatever. So Invisible Man Returns from 1940 has Vincent Price in what is really his first horror role. He plays the Invisible Man, so you don't see him until the very end when he's revealed, at the end of the movie. And I just like the story. It's about I'm trying to think what I would call him. Somebody who's framed, let's put it that way. He's framed for a murder he didn't commit. That's the Invisible Man. And somebody makes him invisible so he can go find the real killer. And we know who the real killer is pretty much from the beginning. Played by, I'll spoil it for you, Sir Cedric Hardwicke, who is the real killer. And the only problem is this drug that made him invisible slowly starts to make him mad too. So, you got that to contend with as he starts to lose his sanity along the way. And also in this is a wonderful appearance in here by Alan Napier, who was Alfred the Butler on the Batman 1960s TV show. People know him for that. He's in here, and he's really a lot of fun in this, I think. Not as the butler, but it's a fun couple of scenes with him in here, dealing with the Invisible Man. So those are the 2 movies that I watched, and of course I watch a lot of pieces of other things. Still going through the Frasier TV show. I was talking about this with Tim a little bit. We're up to season 9. My girlfriend loves the show. I got her the complete series as a gift, so we're watching it. I'm kind of like Frasiered out. I kind of had enough. We watched like 2 episodes a night. And I know Tim and I don't agree on this, but I'm finding it's a matter of disagreement with fans of Frasier, like whether or not it jumped the shark when Niles and Daphne hooked up and finally got to get together. I think it loses something with that. And Tim, you like it though, right?
Yeah. I don't think you could spend like 10 or 12 seasons of Niall lusting after this woman and nothing happening. Eventually something has to happen, or you can't just keep going. I like it. I think it's fun.
I would have made it the last episode. That's what I would have done. But I'm looking for different ideas. But we watched a few of them recently. I didn't really like it because when they're writing scripts that are mostly about the 2 of them and doing their thing and falling in love and proposing and all this, and when they're not falling in love, they're in love. They've already been in love. I don't know. I just find that I like it better when it doesn't center on the two of them and their relationship. They can be there together as a couple, but when other things are going on, Frasier's dealing with his stuff, and Martin, the dad, is dealing with his stuff. I like that better. Let's say hello to 4D, who's here.
A friend of mine, that's his favorite program. He loves Frasier.
Really? Frasier's his favorite.
He just watches it all the time. I mean, nonstop. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I still say it's funny. 9 seasons, and I find many funny scenarios in it. I think I've said this before, and good lines, good writing. But I don't find, for me, episodes I can say, boy, that episode was one of my favorites. I remember, like, I should have jotted them down if there were any. Like, some are better than others, but I find there's funny moments in them. But as a whole, I don't think any of them are like great episodes. How about you, Tim?
Yeah, well, one that sticks out, I think it was a Thanksgiving show they did where they go camping, the three of them, and Niles is tired, and they go to a diner, and he doesn't want to eat it, so he goes back to the camper, but he gets to the wrong camper, and so he's Lord knows where he is.
In the wood cabin. I think I remember this.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was pretty good. Yeah, that was good. And then there's one that my girlfriend likes a lot, which we haven't gotten to yet. It must be really late because I think there's 11 seasons, but something to do with a spa. When Frasier and Niles go to a spa that they like or something like that. And that's the one we keep waiting for. It hasn't been here yet. So I'm trying to think. There's other movies that I've been seeing, like bits and pieces of. I don't know, man. And there's a couple of noirs, things that just pop on the TV, and I watch them for like 20 minutes, which doesn't really count as viewing. By the way, 4D man, how are you feeling right now?
I'm hanging in there, Joe. I'm hanging in there.
You're doing your fast.
I think it's fast day. I actually lost track. Is it fast day number 9 now? I think it might be number 9.
9 days. Ooh. Man, I feel like shit and I've been eating, so I can imagine.
You can't win either way, you see.
No, you can't, apparently. Did you know that in Night of the Living Dead, George Romero said, I never call them zombies. I just thought of them as dead neighbors. Exactly. This zombie thing came later. You know, there was zombie movies for years. Some of them I could think of. White Zombie with Bela Lugosi. I think that might have been the first one in 1932. But then you had Revolt of the Zombies, and I Walked with a Zombie. You know, the Zombies of Mora Tau from the 50s. It's like from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Zombies were mostly the living dead, but they didn't go around eating your flesh. And
was there an I Was a Teenage Zombie? I think, was there one of those as well?
Oh, there was a movie called Teenage Zombies.
Okay.
That's one of the worst movies ever made. And, you know, I don't say that loosely. A lot of people say that they don't see a lot of films. So like I saw somebody like, you know,
I mention it, Joe, because I think I have the soundtrack. Wasn't there a sort of rock and roll compilation for a soundtrack on that? Teenage Zombie?
Yeah, I remember a lot of that music.
Yeah, they remade it, I think. I have that soundtrack. I'm trying to think of the A-Bones.
Well, I don't know if it's the same one I'm thinking. Jerry Warren.
Yeah, no, this is a 90s movie.
Oh no,
Jerry Warren is a terrible director.
But the A-Bones did the music.
Tim, that's not
they remade it.
I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about 50.
Yeah, I think I know the music you mean. I think a lot of that music is what do they call it? Library music or stock music?
Maybe. I just can't remember, Joe. If I didn't know you were going to mention this, I would have gone next door and had a look through my stuff.
Well, I mean, so dealing with the question, so then, you know, zombies are really that. They're more like sleepwalkers or living dead.
They weren't dead. Originally, zombies were people that were medicated by like witch doctors and turned into. They called them the Walking Dead, but they weren't actually dead. That came later. Zombies were.
Yeah, I think some of them. I mean, some of those they did. I know in White Zombie with Lugosi, that White Zombie refers to a bride. You know, that's a white because she's all in white, and he has some kind of a formula or something that turns the people into, like, you know, brain dead,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but they're not.
But yeah, then zombie became synonymous with the flesh-eating ghouls of Night of the
Yeah,
Living Dead.
I think George Romero had a lot to do with that, whether he wanted to or not.
Yeah, future. Now the past is plastics a lot. Yeah, films with a weak Superman and unlikable Supergirl are bad ideas. Sometimes they forget we spend real money to see things, not the entitled or wokey folk and many kids. Yeah, I know there's a lot of that going on too. And I don't know, and I try not to be too nasty, but I want to be honest. I'm not alone in this. The girl who plays Supergirl, I don't think she's pretty enough. I'm sorry, but beauty's in the eye of the beholder. She looks kind of strange, and I was like, as I saw her at the end of the Superman movie, she was with her dog Crypto, and I know Crypto's in the comics, and she's over there all like drunken and acting stupid. Hey, dude, I'm like, that's not my idea of Supergirl.
Yeah, I didn't want to see that last Superman film when I heard they spend so much time at computers and it's too updated, and that just doesn't, for me, fit. It shouldn't be tonally it's too updated, I think.
Yeah.
I don't like it when technology is too reliant in films.
Yeah, I wish if Tom was here, he's not here today. He would probably tell me, well, those are from the Supergirl and the new Superman. Those are from the comics. They are. They did that in the comics. Yeah, today's comics. The comics are just as bad as the movies, in my opinion. They're going to say, I want them to do the 30s comics, or 40s, or 50s, or 60s comics. And I know, and in all fairness, that doesn't really work today, right? I mean, today is the modern era, for better or worse, and who they making the movies for? Not me. Hello, Beetle Eddie.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a comment from DJ. And in Pennsylvania, plastic bags are still prevalent and free. That's good. When I ventured back to Jersey last Saturday, dropped big cash at Princeton Record Exchange. There you go. I brought my own huge bag. Lily Tomlin didn't do The Invisible Woman. She did The Incredible Shrinking Woman, or a remake with her or something. I forget what it was called. Was it The Incredible Shrinking Woman? Something like that. It was
Right.
Yeah, I forget the exact name. It might have been that. The takeoff on the Incredible Shrinking Man late, in more modern times. Don't forget, modern times for me, like 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
If she did do The Invisible Woman, though, how would you know? Because you wouldn't have seen her.
Yeah, that's a good point. We've been watching the Invisible Man TV series, 1958 on Tubi. I've never seen that.
British, wasn't
it? Must be, because I don't know of it.
That comment about plastic bag just reminds me. There was a really good short film called Plastic Bag. I really rate it very highly. Werner Herzog plays the inner thoughts of the plastic bag, and it's very it's really worth checking out. I've got it as an extra feature on a Blu-ray of a David Lynch, Werner Herzog co-production. It's actually very profound and well worth a watch. You can find it on YouTube.
Here you go. There's a recommendation. Frasier was better in the early years. Well, I was almost going to say that you could say that about almost anything, but that's not true necessarily for everything, right? Some shows get better as they go.
Yeah.
I prefer Cheers. I haven't seen Cheers in a long time. We were talking about that on Docs. Yeah. There's everybody saying hello. Hey, 4D.
Hi, James.
I expected 4D in a Hawaiian shirt with a pina colada. Must have cooled down in the UK.
Today was a slightly cooler, thank God. I need it cooler still in my condition, but I'll settle for what today's temperature was, whatever that was. it was a little drop.
All right. Frasier is a drawing room comedy. John Moreno, what's going
Hi,
on?
John.
Is the link still there? I don't even know if the link's still there, but I'll put another one.
I can say a little bit about the poster. There's not a lot to say.
Yes.
about
Well, what is your poster this time?
It's a one-sheet poster from the USA, but it's a UK film from 1968, and the title of the film is written in what I would call computer script. There, I don't know whether can you read it at all. It's one word.
Sebastian.
Yeah,
Sebastian.
there you go. So that's the name. That's the name of the protagonist, who's played by Dirk Bogarde. 1968. He was still, a star that you could put on top of a film and expect the film to do well. But the design of this poster is interesting to me. I think it fails when you think of what the job of a poster is. So they're going to put this up either right outside the cinema or within the cinema foyer, and it's supposed to draw you from afar towards a film you haven't seen and maybe never heard of so far. Unfortunately, they don't make the most of Dirk Bogarde in the poster. He's kind of passed out, as well as the leading lady Susanna York, and there are all these inscriptions that are placed on it, which are almost cool but not quite. So part of this film, which I haven't seen in decades, is to do with the spy movies decoding, like military intelligence decoding things, computer decoding. 1968 computers were like, whoa, computers, quite fanciful. And so they're trying to make a big deal of that by all those numbers spread across those images, and they're passing out the images as well. The problem is, with that degree of deconstruction, you kind of lose the star power you're trying to sell, because it doesn't draw you in. So I think it's a badly designed poster, although
it doesn't do much for me.
Yeah, but I admire the ambition. They're trying to do something. And I think it also tells me that they don't quite know how to either promote the film, which is enigmatic, because it's very swinging London. So it feeds all that computer espionage right through swinging London. It makes a big deal of swinging London in 1968. But Dirk Bogarde it can be quite a complex actor to characterize in a poster and sell in a marketing image. And I think that there must have, whoever did the marketing must have really scratched their head with this one and really not come up with anything. The film itself, if Archie was here, he would know the film inside out better than I do. Right. Well, Archie will know this film inside out, and Archie will tell you that there is no decent DVD transfer anywhere in the world of this film. Forget about Blu-ray, just an ordinary standard DVD transfer. It's one of those films that slip through the cracks, which I never believe that the copyright situation can be so problematic that a film like this, made in 1968, starring Dirk Bogarde, with a lot of location footage in swinging London, which is now historic, that the BFI can't do something to resolve and put it out on find the original neg if you can, but if you can't, find a copy neg and then just put that out on a standard Blu-ray. You don't even have to go to 4K if you don't want to, but to neglect it as badly as they have, I think is one of the examples of many that shows up the British Film Institute of being a little bit too much like the BBC for my liking. You can find it on YouTube and you can watch it for free. But what you'll see is a beat up copy and the wrong aspect ratio. And it's not the way to see a film like that, which was trying to be very visual, very cinematic at a very cinematic time in swinging London. The only other thing I want to say about it is this. The soundtrack was mostly written by Jerry Goldsmith. And it's a really versatile soundtrack. You can just tell, even if you didn't know the film and you didn't know what the date of the film, you could tell it was swinging London by some of the tracks on this soundtrack. It's Jerry Goldsmith just a little after Planet of the Apes being brilliantly inventive again. He's got some help this time, which I guess I can't begrudge, because the extra tracks, which are not written by Jerry Goldsmith, are wonderful too. They're weird, avant-garde, literally avant-garde this time, tracks that are put on it as well. And there's one or two songs on it that aren't Jerry Goldsmith's, which are very cheesy 1960s songs. So it's quite a varied soundtrack. And I've had this soundtrack, not this copy, but I had this soundtrack since I was 16 years old, and I love it. It just brings back a time and place that's gone forever now.
Oh yeah, that happens with a lot of things.
Yeah.
I want to welcome John here. Hello, John.
Hello. How you doing?
Thanks for joining us.
Let me apologize ahead of time. My wife is about to arrive. I'm gonna go on pause for a minute, and I'll be right back. So
Okay, it happens.
but thank you.
When 4D was talking about aspect ratio, I forgot to mention something important about What About Bob.
Yeah.
Okay, like I said, this is an old DVD, and from my research in the United States anyway, it only ever came out on this DVD. Okay, and it says here, widescreen 1.85:1 ratio, which is like what we're looking at, pretty much a rectangle with the black and everything. It's a rectangle and you have a flat screen TV, and it would fill it up ordinarily. But this is non-anamorphic. And I don't know if everybody knows what non-anamorphic is, but if I understand it right, tell me if I'm wrong, but if it's anamorphic, it means it adjusts to your TV. If you put it on your TV and it's 1.85:1, it will automatically adjust and fill out the entire rectangle like we have here. Okay, but this was made, I guess, was presented on disc at a time when we still had the square TVs, the old 4x3 TVs. So as a result, it had the black bars, they call them. But again, if you're watching this now, that's what this looks like. It had the black bars, but it doesn't fill the screen. It's in the center of it's a square in the center of my rectangular TV, because it's formatted to fit a old square box TV. So I could watch it. The image is big enough. Now I could also stretch it. I have like switches on my remote where I could do like what we're looking at now, where you get the wider effect, but then everybody looks a little stretched, and I don't like doing that.
Well, you can blow it up. There's other settings too. You should be able to blow it up. Sometimes it gets slightly blurrier, but that's what I do with laser discs, because all laser discs are like that. So I just blow them up.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like that. I have one season of a TV series, Trailer Park Boys, which is like that. It's in widescreen, but it's not 16:9 widescreen. It's not.
Yeah.
What do they call it? 16:9 enhanced, I think. So you get the black bars within the. It's not. It doesn't have the width. It's
right.
It's widescreen within a 4:3 aspect ratio.
Yeah, and if you could blow it up, it would look weird, grainy, at least on mine anyway. So I watched it.
It's more grainy and stuff, yeah.
I watched it the regular way for what that was worth.
The UK version of DVD of that's not the case. You can fill up your whole TV.
Right. Okay. I'm going to I wasn't going to put this up, but I'll put it up just to make a point. The other day I was doing a live stream, and Richard said on it, when I was showing my clips, which I showed, I have the same freaking 5 or 6 clips that I've been showing forever. And he goes, "Why don't you change the clips up, Joe? It's the same thing all the time." And I said, "Your jokes, Richard James, like this one, are the same thing all the time." So there you go. And that Lily Tomlin, go ahead. Sorry, I talk a lot.
Sometimes when I've got exactly the same amount of smoke going, because of the placement of this tray, this cluster of dupe incense, but unless it's placed in a particular under the camera in a particular angle, it doesn't pick up. So it's as if I'm not burning anything when I'm burning just as much as I usually do, but for some reason the angle isn't quite working.
I hear you. No smoking.
Sunday on Rachel's live stream, your smoke was coming out of Rob's head. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. It was
is that
perfectly placed. It was perfect.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, Rob was. I was where Sasquatch is now, and Rob was where I am now. Yeah, and nobody noticed it until Maz said, "Why is Rob's head on fire?" And then everybody realized that. So it's that sudden jolt when Maz mentions it that made it funny.
I'm having problems here with my thing again. I'm getting my burning eyes too. Don't worry about this.
Can I make a comment about Frasier? Because is that okay?
Yeah.
So I watched Frasier also, and you mentioned that it changed once Daphne and Niles got married. My only, I guess, complaint is that Niles and Daphne should never have gotten married because they're a bad match. I mean, Niles is too much of a lightweight for her.
Yeah, I don't know what she's doing. Well, maybe the money.
Well,
I don't know.
she fell for him. She thought it was romantic that he was in love with her for. In the door? Yeah. Oh boy. Oh jeez. I'm sorry. I have to apologize. I have to cut this. Someone's at the doors. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Right
Listen,
back.
Okay.
This is like a sitcom, isn't it? I'll be right back.
I agree with you so far. Okay. Let's see now. Let me catch up here with some stuff. That Lily Tomlin quote that I took down too fast. The Lily Tomlin thing. Yeah, it was called. Jeez, come on. Yeah, The Incredible Shrinking Woman. That's what I thought. Don't worry, I'm not crying. I don't get. I hate this, man. I got to check this out one day. Maybe it's all these years of looking at screens 24/7. Because when I'm not on here, I'm on this.
Is it Joe? Is it anything? Joe, is it anything to do with humidity where you are?
Not yet.
Okay.
not yet. And I'll take it. You know me. And there's Spring Hill Jim complimenting you on your poster.
There you go.
Okay. What is this? Perfect panel. Americans on top, British on bottom. Didn't think of that. Hello, James. Yeah. Or don't forget, have you ever see the movie Mad Monster Party, which is one of those, it's an animated Rankin and Bass things, and Phyllis Diller does one of the voices, and they say, "Here comes the Invisible Man," because all the monsters are going to this party. He says, "Here comes the Invisible Man," and the Phyllis Diller character goes, "How can you tell?"
Phyllis Diller. I remember Phyllis Diller. It's quite
Mel
amazing,
Brooks.
You wouldn't necessarily think that Phyllis Diller would cross the pond, but actually she at least in the 60s anyway, when I was a boy, because I could tell from the reactions of my parents, her humor did translate and her persona did translate to the UK in the 60s anyway.
Yeah. So did Mel Brooks already turn 100? He's officially 100?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Well, that's another thing we watched last. We watched 3/4 of Blazing Saddles last night on Turner Classic Movies also. And it's one of my favorite Mel Brooks movies, but even that one, I'm like, I think I've had my fill. It's getting like that with some movies. I don't know why,
Mel Brooks doesn't always have the best reputation for getting along within the industry. There's some bad anecdotes, but I'll always love him for. And I know Gene Wilder was a major co-creator as well on this, but I'll always remember him for Young Frankenstein, which is one of my beloved films.
And even that I saw not too long ago, and I was like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I've seen them, but there's other movies I can watch a million times and never tire of,
Right.
I don't know why.
that's my favorite comedy, but I've got this condition. I faint when I laugh, so it's dangerous for me to watch that film.
Wow.
Oh man, I don't. Wow.
Yeah, when he took that Frankenstein, I nearly fainted.
Wow.
Watch out! Don't make him laugh. I'm not. Let's be serious here.
Yeah.
Let's be serious.
Actually, Gene Wilder's been the problem many times because have you seen? Maybe I've told you about this before. See no evil, hear no evil. Yeah.
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 The Fuzzy Wuzzy was a woman's scene. I was just thinking about that, and that made me pass out. But I was driving at the time.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
So I guess if I had a condition like that, where somehow it kicked into losing consciousness, I think I'd probably have to train myself to smile every time I wanted to laugh. I'd have to sort of divert it a little bit because you can't. Because the reason I say that is because if I tried to just suppress it completely, I don't think that suppression would work. But if I could reroute it into a different reaction,
it's not something you can just turn off. But my problem is when I laugh, I stop breathing. I don't know why that is, but I do.
And even if you're conscious, like you're conscious of it, aware of it, you can't train yourself to breathe at the same time in any way.
I just gotta not laugh when I find something funny.
Does it have to be like hysterical laughing, like when you can't, like that, or is it just mild?
Yeah, I can chuckle, but a full-on laugh is dangerous.
Oh, geez. I rarely laugh that much. So, I mean, I tell you, I could go a couple of years without having a real hearty laugh. So I don't know. It takes a lot to get me to laugh.
Well,
I might watch a movie. I might chuckle at a movie like, or a Frasier joke. I'll go like, or something like that. But I don't, I have very rare.
It's actually true. I'm not being melodramatic. Last year I painted on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. We were playing Scrabble and I found some stupid words in it. That caused me to faint. It does happen.
That reminds me of a conversation I had long ago with Rachel, where I was telling Rachel that I seem to, and this is still true, lost the capacity for the massive paroxysms of laughter that I used to have, where you would double up, tears would come out of your eyes.
Yeah,
you couldn't catch your breath, and to an outsider, it might look like you're having some cardiovascular problem, but actually you're just so creased up with humor that it stops your whole system. And it's to me, it was better than an orgasm. It was a glorious feeling, but it must have looked very.
No, I disagree with that.
But it must have looked very painful for everybody else. And I said to Rachel, because I think it was after one of those shows, because Rachel, there have been one or two occasions where Rachel has been laughing so hard that she literally fell off her chair. Really? In a live stream. Yeah, it doesn't happen now, but it used to happen. So that triggered this conversation I was having with her. And I said, that doesn't happen to me anymore. I miss those extreme performative reactions. So bear with me, Joe. To laughter.
It's a little long-winded.
Yeah, I know, but isn't it worth getting to the end of it though? Because the end of it, all right, the end of it is, I was wondering whether, as you get old, is that a protective thing in your system that prevents you from being able to do that anymore? Because it would end up with a situation like has just been said for more and more people. So it's kind of protecting you from those fitful laughters, which when you're my age, you can't afford to have. Maybe.
I don't know about maybe. I can't. I know what you're saying. I used to be able. I don't. It's rare that I laugh like that. I like when I do. And just recently, there was something I laughed at, but I can't remember what it was.
I think when it happens to that degree, it's because
do you guys find yourself?
Wait.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's hard with a lot of people because I think Sasha's volume's a little lower, or he speaks more softly. So he was saying something. I'm sorry, John. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Okay. No, I was just saying. I think what triggers that is when it takes you by surprise. It's the element of surprise that makes it as funny as it is when you're caught off guard by it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. John?
My question is, does this happen to you guys where you get a funny thought in your head, you think of something funny that has happened or something funny that someone has said, and you're by yourself and you just start laughing by yourself? Is that, you guys go through that?
Yeah, it's happened.
Yeah, I that happens often with me where, just a silly, maybe it's a line from Frasier, maybe it's a family member said something, and it just pops into your head, and you're all by yourself and you're laughing. You feel a little kind of goofy. Like, am I okay? Laughing by myself.
Yeah, I've done that.
And it,
You
hap-
better
it
stop.
happens more and more the less you leave the house.
Oh, Jesus.
Funny is
Well, you know what? Yeah, if you're out there in
I would
public,
agree with
sometimes
that.
you're not gonna laugh. You're gonna get upset because people or other drivers, other people will kind of upset you. You're not gonna laugh. Well, that's another
Yeah,
story.
just earlier this afternoon, I was driving to pick my girlfriend up from work, and I got aggravated 3 times in under 5 minutes by 3 different situations driving. I get aggravated all the time. It's automatic.
Yeah.
Well, I personally couldn't care less about Toy Story movies, but I hear good things about them. But there you go. So, and Jim is saying how he has a bootleg
Yeah,
copy of Sebastian
Yes.
in very poor quality.
exactly.
Yeah, taped and then transferred. The 5th of Mayo. Right. You put it simply. Right. That's what it is exactly. It's the DVD I talked about is a non-anamorphic DVD. It's a letterbox for a 4x3 TV.
a lot
Exactly.
of laser discs are that way as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, like, all laser discs. I've never seen an anamorphic laser disc.
Oh.
Yeah. I never really watched the Avengers. Anybody?
I like it. Great show. Love it.
Yeah, I
No.
think it did well in it didn't do well in portraying swinging London itself. A lot of the scenes were countrified, and a lot of the scenes were set in the studio. But what it did was convey some of the vibe of swinging London, such as a woman who was sexy and yet liberated and sporty and intellectual, and change the rapport by bringing in camp. So it wasn't playing straight, and it wasn't completely sending itself up either, but somewhere in the middle. That kind of irony, that was quite au fait in swinging London.
They were very. I mean, they were cool. I mean, they dressed cool. Patrick McNee had a cool pad. Dana Rigg looked great. They drove cool cars. I mean, they were very hip. And I love the theme music. Oh God, I love that music. It's so good.
Yeah, Laurie
It's
Johnson,
just like it's a jazzy big band sound. It just grooves, man. It is just
brilliant.
very
Yeah,
tasty
definitely.
stuff. I have that music, theme music on a CD, and that's included. And I love it when it plays. It's just like, wow, too cool.
Yeah.
But speaking of swinging London, that would be what, 67, 68, right? 1967.
Well, it depends whether you're reading the newspapers or studying historians, but I'd say it started in 65 and it ended it kind of ended at the most right at the first half of 1968. But I think it died in 68.
Well, you know what's cool about that period in time, the 60s, you had swinging London, you had San Francisco, the Haight-Ashbury, here in California, and in Los Angeles we had Laurel Canyon, which had all these great rock bands. So these 3 places, I'm sure there's New York too, I'm sure was, but swinging London, Laurel Canyon, and Haight-Ashbury, there was a lot of things going, a lot of great music being produced. The culture was changing, the clothes, the music. What a great time. It's just a great time. I was only 10 years old at the time, but looking back on it, there's so many good videos, a lot of great music to, just enjoy in that time.
I think it's fair game to call it a renaissance.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, like Paris in the late 20s, was it? Paris in the late 20s?
Well, I mean,
pardon?
Paris in late 20s, Paris in the 50s for different reasons, like Greenwich Village in the 50s and early 60s.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah.
Paris in the early 60s was a big noise for the British New Wave, for the French New Wave.
Right.
The kind of thing that the cineasts were coming out with then were amazing. And by 67, it was such a political, philosophical hotbed. You know, it wasn't just the Paris riots in '68. When Parisians used to riot, they had to have a philosophical side to it as well. So you'd have people like Jean-Luc Godard quoting Jean-Paul Sartre as part of the beginnings of a riot. So that's the way the Parisians did it in '60. So when you look at all the turbulence even in the '60s, and you look at the hotbeds of the catalysts there, just like the creative catalyst that cities can be, they can be catalysts for revolution too. So Paris in '67, '68 was a revolutionary hotbed.
You know what? An interesting little thing I noticed in that documentary, "Don't Look Back," the film with Bob Dylan.
Oh, Dylan,
Yeah.
And Donovan is in that, and I think it's mentioned in that where in London, I think they were smoking a lot of weed and hash, but here in the United States, they're taking a lot of speed. So there's that difference in drugs.
Interesting.
There's a certain edge that the Americans had that the English did. Not that one's better than the other. It's just a difference in the drugs they're doing. You know, they were smoking weed, but they're also taking uppers, and they're all sped up. You know, and that fueled a lot of the Andy Warhol, Velvet Underground, culture. So, that's a difference there. You know, if you're, weed, hash, that stuff, it'll get you stoned, but you're not going to be as wound up. Or speed is different,
right?
But that was just a difference, and that's a great documentary, to watch.
It is. What Maz was showing this wonderful special edition DVD box set of Don't Look Back, so I got him to. He wasn't going to show it because it's so small, and I've got the same edition, but my camera setup is nowhere near as good as Maz's, and it's like a little flicker book, and which is what's the Dylan? What's the Dylan? What is it? Joe, what's the
Subterranean Homesick Blues? Right?
Yes. So you remember the video? He's got the cards, the cue cards that he's tossing aside as he's singing. So this is a little flicker book of that. So you flick the book and you can get the cards to toss away. So Maz was flicking through it so you could see it. So that's I think you can still get that. It's not Blu-ray, but I think you can still get that DVD special edition that's got this lovely design box set inside.
That's a Scorsese. He made the documentary, I think, right?
No, not that one.
D.A. Pennebaker did.
Yeah, it's the Pennebaker documentary.
Scorsese used "Don't Look Back" to make his documentary.
Yeah. And speaking of Greenwich, Bob Dylan in New York in the early '60s, Greenwich Village. Two movies that I really like watching. If you could watch them back to back, is great. Is the Alan Lewis movie. What's that? Oh God, the Coen brothers did
I just saw it again actually recently. Inside Llewyn Davis.
What's the title?
Inside Llewyn Davis.
Exactly. Great. I like it. It's the guy's a knucklehead, but it's a good movie because the Coen brothers did it, and they recreate that whole Greenwich Village look, which is awesome. And then follow it with "Don't Look Back," the Bob Dylan biopic. Those two back to back are great, and they kind of take you back to early '60s Greenwich Village. And again, that was what an amazing time to be in Greenwich Village. You got Bob Dylan, you got Miles Davis, you got Woody Allen, you got Barbra Streisand, all this talent performing in the bill. You could see these guys in the club, but what a great time, in New York.
Yeah.
Two great movies to watch.
Talk in New York Town or something. What's that song that Dylan has? Talk in New York something. I'm gonna throw up.
John Birch Blues is Bob Dylan's song.
Well, that's another one. Yeah.
Which he didn't want to. He wanted to perform that on Ed Sullivan, I think. Right? Isn't that the one he wanted to perform? And they
don't know which one.
Yeah, we got to Google that. But he wanted to perform a particular song. They said no, and Dylan said, "Well, I'm not going to do it," or something, or they didn't air it. We need Mazzy here to tell us.
Yeah,
Mazzy's good. Was that the same time of Lenny Bruce as well?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So just on the verge of something coming, and
Well, that's another good movie to watch with Dustin Hoffman, right? That's another good one. Black and white.
Yeah. Well, they made a film about it. Yeah, but
Lenny.
I'm just saying that time people were speaking out and.
Well, he was
Awesome.
pushing the boundaries of free speech is what he was doing, and he got in trouble for doing that. But at the same time, he was doing hard drugs like heroin, and he was spiraling out of control too, his own personal life. But his humor was a little more on the intellectual side. You had to really follow it.
Yeah, he was. People weren't ready for him.
No. And then the follow-up.
I know it's tough when a lot of people are here. And we got to get to. I'm sorry, but we got to get to questions.
Joe,
what you were going to say. See what?
That's what I was trying to do, Joe. Exactly what you were just trying to say.
Oh yeah, because I have something to say about this. But the thing is, I'm toying with the idea of not even taking like just not making them live anymore. The show just us coming on and talking, and then we play it up as a video.
Because you're actually good at this, Joe. There's not many people.
Well, I have this thing about wanting to move along with questions before they back up. But this kind of conversation is exactly what I would like to have here too. So I'm kind of like between a rock and a hard place.
Well, it's your job to give us both, Joe. So you've got to work it out.
Well, if I put a question up there, wrap it up a little bit. Try to wrap it up. I guess if there's not a lot of questions, what the hell? But now this movie, The Children's Hour, I did see it. It was that's rarity when something came on. They came on again Turner one time, and I watched it. A movie I hadn't seen, which is I should do more of that. And I did remember liking it. And I did, this is going to go off on a tangent myself now. But the thing is, I don't know what to do when it comes to movies for my channel. Like a lot of times if I do reviews, I'll just give it a video, like take a movie and do a video. This was one that when I was doing just what would you call them? Like, capsule reviews, like you do a video where like I saw some new movies. Here's what I watched lately. And you talk about 10 movies, and this was one of them. It's in one of my older videos where this is in one of those. I don't know which one it's in. That's the catch. It's like if you give everything its own spotlight, fine. But if I do one where I say, "Oh, this week I watched What About Bob? This week I watched Viva Las Vegas," and you have them all in one, how are they ever going to find it? If they want to know what does Joe think about What About Bob, it doesn't have its own dedicated video. Right. It has to be in. So anyway, but what were you going to say about this 4D?
I saw The Children's Hour on television when I was very interested in Lillian Hellman, who wrote the play that created this film. The very brave play about lesbianism, when lesbianism not only wasn't spoken of that much, but it wasn't acknowledged to exist. So it was a brave play about the dynamics of how women who discovering their own lesbianism can be then persecuted by society, especially if they're in positions that are very prone to, and this is the play I think was written in the 50s, cancel culture. So if you're an educationalist and you happen to be, the wrong side of political correctness even before political correctness exists, then you can be cancelled out. So some of it is to do with the peer pressure around them. But the reason I don't want to watch it again is because it just made me feel depressed. And I'm a wussy film goer. If something going to make me feel depressed or disturbed, then I'm going to make a beeline for the exit. So despite the fact that I was very interested in Lillian Hellman because of Pentimento, which became Julia with Jane Fonda and Vanessa Redgrave, because of that, and it just turned out that this playwright, Lillian Hellman, a celebrated playwright, turns out she was a marvelous prose writer, and that's what kicked me off, and that's how I ended up seeing the film that DJT Forever is talking about.
But I'm trying to remember in the movie, I know it's about a young girl, and that's why it's a children's hour. It's about a child who starts gossiping or talking about Audrey Hepburn and Shirley MacLaine. But are they really an item are they really a couple in the story? I think they are, right?
I can no longer remember, but I don't think I I'm not sure, Joe. I better not say because
I don't know if they were in the movie. I don't remember if they're really a couple or the girls talking about them, and then they get a reputation.
Oh, for sure. There's a lesbian attraction between them, but I don't know that they're an item.
Yeah, I don't know because all I know is the girl talks a lot and
of course
turns everybody against them because this was made at a time where it wasn't accepted.
Well, the girl is the Hitler Youth in this situation. Yeah.
Okay. John is right about Niles and Daphne not being compatible. Sometimes opposites attract, they say, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying that for Tim's sake. I don't think it works for the show, but personally, but
I do, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Niles seemed too lightweight for Daphne. She there was an episode where she fell for one of the contract workers. I was working in Fraser's condominium, and he seemed like a better match for her. You know, more of a blue collar, macho kind of a guy. And it's funny how Niles even talks about how in one of the episodes he mentions that how guys like him only dream about being macho like these other guys, but they fantasize about that while they're in their comfortable chair with their like silk clothes on. He's just too much of a mild guy. And even Roz takes jabs at Niles, and she'll call him a doily, you little doily, And she goes, you probably don't even wrinkle the blankets when he sleeps. It's like, Well,
sometimes Niles is to me, is so over the top. She, like, my girlfriend thinks that's hilarious. It's funny. She won't watch the Three Stooges. And even with What About Bob, she thought it was just all right. She thought Richard Dreyfuss' character, if you know the movie, when he gets really like crazy at the end, was too like animated and over the top. That's exactly what Frasier does. It's exactly what Niles does when Frasier gets crazy.
Don't you think that David Hyde Pierce, Niles, his physical comedy is rooted in Stan Laurel? Don't you think it comes from that?
Could be. I see Sasha's got something to say.
A lot of that.
Oh, do I? I was just thinking.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
I'm just thinking about what you're saying. I remember one scene in Frasier where
don't
Niles
think too
is
much.
Sorry.
Don't laugh, please.
Oh no, it's not that funny. Niles is ironing his trousers or something, and
that's one of the classic scenes.
It's all physical, no spoken word.
Yeah.
You don't think about it too much because that is one of the best scenes. That's what I said. There's so many scenes I could think of, or moments or lines that I like within different episodes, and that's one of them. And you talk about every time he looks at it, he cuts his finger, he passes out or something like that.
Yeah.
Whenever he lies, he'll get a nosebleed.
Oh, but the thing about it, I know this is supposed to be the character, but he's so over the top, like it's hard to believe he's a psychiatrist. Although I guess that's the idea of it, that these guys,
as educated and cultured as they are, they got all these hang-ups. They're neurotic.
For sure.
They're neurotic,
What's his name in the film?
I think that
Niles?
What, Doctor Who? No, it's not. It's two. I think it's two syllables. Richard Dreyfuss. What's his name?
Oh, that's the other movie.
His name's
What About
Marvin.
Bob?
Marvin.
I forgot it already.
Dr. Murphy.
I remember it. Marvin Leo or something like that.
Leo Marvin?
Dr. Marvin, that's it.
Dr. Marvin.
The funniest scene to me is where because he's having a panic attack, Bill Murray needs to locate his doctor wherever he is on location. He finds the location. His plan extends as far as the train. So he gets on the train. So he's got that worked out. When the train arrives at the station, he gets off at the right station. That's where the plan ends. So he just starts shouting out loud on the platform, Dr. Marvin, just walking around shouting out loud at the top of his Dr. Marvin, as though, well, this is the end of the line, so he'll be here somewhere. And that's great.
It was a small town.
It's very small. You know how small it was? The local hooker was a virgin.
There you go.
It was a small town. I plugged my razor in, the trolley stopped. All right, that's Rodney Dangerfield. Okay, here you go. If Sacha met Danny, he'd never laugh again. There you go. Depressing Danny. Okay. Oh yeah, this is a line from The Honeymooners. Rocco always does that, but I'm surprised at you, Rocco. You got it a little wrong. What am I laughing at? What am I laughing at? I forgot what I was laughing at. It's a scene when he's drunk. You have to see it. But anyway, the word's at. What am I laughing at? What am I laughing at? Diana Rigg looked good in 1971's at the hospital.
She looked good for a long time. I saw her. I saw her at the Royal Exchange Theatre in when would it be? Would it be around 1990? But she looked great then.
Sure. 4D, did you spend much time in London in the swinging 60s? What were you like a year old or something?
I turned 1 year old in 1960, and I can remember my infancy quite well. So I can remember the puppet series that my mum kept me quiet by watching on the television in, say, 1961 and then 1962. But I had all through my boyhood, I don't think I had any concept of the swinging 60s at all. But there were certain things I was heavily into that are deeply part of 60s culture in the UK. And I finally got around. My parents didn't own a record player until 1968, and even then, they didn't have any Beatles records or anything like that. But a transistor radio in those days took you everywhere. So all the Beatles songs, nearly all the Beatles songs that came out, and some Beatles covers, were embedded in my brain. And it's just that I didn't realize how embedded they were until 1979, and I started to buy Beatles records for the first time, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, they did this as well? What, they did that? I mean, I knew they did all the primary ones you can think of, but I didn't realize that they did Michelle, because it was covered by another band in the 60s. They didn't release it as a single. Things like that. Yeah. So the
That's
kind
weird.
of the 60s passed me by, and yet they're injected into my brain anyway.
There you go. That's my favorite Coen movie.
Well, it takes years for you to realize that, doesn't it? You only realize that in retrospect.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You don't realize what you've got till it's gone, basically.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Speaking of the radio, the transistor radio, back in the 60s, you would hear music on a transistor radio or in the car with one speaker in the front of the car in the dash, or in the kitchen, you had the table, the clock radio, and that one speaker sounded awesome. The music sounded great. I mean, that's all it took. You didn't need the stereo. I mean, we had a record player and all that, but yet that one single speaker and the music sounded great. It was mono. It was a mix for radio, for mono for radio, but it sounded great. It was awesome.
Don't worry, Tim. I haven't forgot about you. I always got you in my head. If you watch The Silent Passion of Joan of Arc, you will be depressed.
Point taken.
Great film, though.
There you go. Okay. Hello, Eric. The other week I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood for the first time. I think it's overrated. It doesn't mean I don't like it. I just think people go nuts over it so much.
I like it. I like it because I was here in LA in 1969, and we kind of remember that on the news and all that. Plus, they show Sunset Boulevard, and I've been there many times. So no, Hollywood Boulevard, in fact. So I don't know. I can relate to it because it's Southern California.
Well, the only thing I could say when I saw it twice in the theater. Actually, I saw it with different people, and I liked it better the second time. But I still say, every time I talk about it, I say I like the look of it. I like it captures that time and the look.
And the soundtrack, I like the fact that there were no big. You didn't hear the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or Doors in that soundtrack, but you heard a lot of other songs that were great, like Jose Feliciano doing California Dreaming, which is great. I know there's a Billy Stewart song in there somewhere. And then here's what I find interesting about Quentin Tarantino movies. They've done this before. They'll pick out an obscure song that probably nobody's heard, but in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they have a song by the Village Callers called Hector, and it's a rare Latin funk song. It's just a funky little number with organ and vocal with spoken intro. And I go, how did they get this song in the soundtrack? Yet it's there, and it just is a nice touch to the movie.
Yeah, I do like that he does that a lot with songs, in different movies.
One more thing in Jackie Brown, there's a scene where De Niro, I think he shoots was it Bridget Fonda, whatever.
Yeah,
You guys, have you seen it?
Yeah.
that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
So
In the parking lot.
remember that scene? And then he walks kind of like he parks the van out in some street just to, but you hear in the background, they're playing another Latin song by, they're playing another song by Orchestra Harlow, and it's a Latin version of an American song. But anyway, the name will come to me, but it's like, how do they dig out these rare Latin songs and include it in the movie or in the soundtrack? It's pretty interesting how they do that. I like that. I love it.
Sure.
Sorry.
John, this message is for you, John.
No, but where is Barak?
Struck out again, Beatletti.
No.
Get
When I
ready,
watched,
Tim. You're going to be up soon, Tim. I got to put you up here before we run out of time. There you go. Jurassic Park and the sequel, The Lost World. I saw them both at the cinema in the 90s. All right, let me just catch up here a little bit. DVD, son checked out a DVD of The Wrecking Crew from the library. That is the Sharon Tate film that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood shows clips from when she goes to see it at the theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to be confused, the Wrecking Crew of the musicians, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think it's overrated because I concede that it's a great looking. I don't think the characters are so great in there, and besides, they're real characters. Well, no, not all of them. The stuntmen are not. Brad Pitt is not real, of course, and neither is what's his name. The other.
It reminded me of De Palma so much. The visual style of that film made me think of Brian De Palma.
I don't know. I needed more of what was the point of the movie? The point of the movie was just to say that it didn't end. It didn't end the way it did in real life. And I don't know. To me, it wasn't enough of a story. Mrs. Robinson is in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's a good thing. All right. Now that we have a moment, and Tim. So now. What have you either picked up or watched? How's that? Did I say that right? No. Either doesn't say and or.
Anyway, I haven't picked up anything, unfortunately.
Okay.
Nothing.
John goes away. Folks, Tim's on. Good night.
You can,
Surprised more people don't go.
I force myself to stay here. I want to know what Tim.
I'll start out with a film that I should have watched a couple weeks ago, but I don't have it to show. I watched Pandora's Box with now I'm not even gonna think of her name.
We don't have it to show. Okay.
Don't.
Are you doing
folks,
this again?
No. It's a silent film from 1939 when she moved to Germany. Why can't I? Louise Brooks. It's her most famous film, and she's a woman that you can't help but like. But I mean, the film is appropriately titled because she ruins everybody's life she comes in contact with, and she's not unhappy about that. It's a very interesting film, but she's a man ruiner. That's basically what she is. And you couldn't have made it in the United States because she's a kept woman and all of that stuff, and it probably wouldn't have flown. But anyway, great film, great silent film. One of the last great silent films. And I watched The Last Days of Pompeii, another one I don't have to show, which is an early 30s film by the makers of King Kong, and it shows. It's a decent enough film, but you know, this is supposed to be Pompeii, and everybody in it is so American, and you know, they're all acting like they do in King Kong, you know, with these big gestures, and it
I was going to say King. I mean, like King Kong doesn't sound too bad.
No, but it doesn't have any special effects till the very end, unfortunately. So, you know, it's about this guy who is anti-slavery, and you know, Pompeii is run on slaves, but he winds up fixing this nobleman's chained slave who is getting away, and he fixes the chains, and he's remembered, and he moves up and he becomes a gladiator killing slaves, which he hates, you know, and he becomes the thing he hates, basically. And that's what the film is about. And then his son is exactly like him, is and his father hates that about his son because he's idealistic, and you know, anyway, it's interesting. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a great film, although Criterion has it, so it is considered a great film, but it's okay. But
I see Criterion also has Blood for Dracula and Flesh for Frankenstein, for God's sake. It's like, you know, I'm just saying, Tom's not here, so I can tease him about Criterion.
Yeah, but it's considered a classic. Anyway, okay, now I have films too. Who do we lose? Okay. Anyway, I watched Savages, which turns out this is the family's name. That's why it's called Savages, and it's Laura Linney and Philip Seymour Hoffman, and their brother and sister, and they live. He lives in Buffalo. I don't remember where she lives, but they don't live anywhere near each other. And they've got this father who was abusive to him, and they haven't seen him in like 20 years. And he's living with this woman, and he's losing his mind. He's got Alzheimer's, and he's deteriorating. It's a depressing movie, but it's a black comedy. It's funny, but it's depressing. And he's living with this woman, and she dies. So her kids kick him out of the house. So now they have to take care of him. He's their responsibility, and they find a home to put him in. And it's a film worth seeing, and a lot of people go through this film, or go through what's in this film. So it's worth seeing for that. But it's great performances by Laura Linney and Philip Seymour Hoffman, but it's sort of a depressing. You're not going to leave with a smile on your face. Let's put it that way. And this I've seen before, but I wanted to watch it again, and I liked it better the second time. Anybody seen St. Vincent with Bill Murray?
Yeah,
this is a good film.
I never did.
Funny.
It reminded me
funny
of
and
wait. He doesn't remind you of what?
Go ahead.
I said yes, I've seen it. It gave me Gran Torino vibes, but with some humor in there.
Yeah. I mean, Bill Murray, but Bill Murray is way more crotchety than Clint Eastwood is in Gran Torino. He doesn't care about anything or anyone. And yes, but
more than Tom Hanks in A Man Called Otto.
I haven't seen that yet. I need to. It's on my list. But she moves in next door to him, and he's dating her. He's got her knocked up, but she's a prostitute. He pays her for every time she comes to see him. You know, he's that kind of guy. Yeah, and she moves in next door with her son, and her son gets locked out of the house, so Bill Murray winds up babysitting for him, but charging an exorbitant amount of money to do it. And anyway, they wind up liking each other, and the movie ends. I'll give it away. Here's the kid. The movie ends with, at school, they all have to go up in front of the whole school and nominate somebody for sainthood. And the kid nominates Bill Murray, you know, the most despicable man on the planet. And it's good. It's funny. It's good. And I like it. It's a good film.
That's nice.
I enjoyed it.
last but not least is a movie I never heard of, and I loved it. Larry Crown, Tom Hanks and Julia Roberts, and Tom Hanks works at a place like Costco or Sam's Club, which I did too. So maybe that's why I liked it so much. And this really happened. He's just an employee. He's not a boss or anything, but he's happy. He loves his job, and everybody loves him. And he's the best there is at this job. And one day he's called into the office to management. Thanks, Joe. And he thinks
that's what I do. Like we're
he's
listening
going
to
get
you. Like,
employee of the month for the ninth time, and they fire him because he's not college educated. And this is a real thing. And this is why I liked it. This happened when I was at Sam's. They started getting rid of people that didn't have college educations. Boop, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah.
And so he loses his job. And now he's got to he's going through a messy divorce, and he's broke. So he goes back to school, and Julia Roberts is one of his teachers. And at first they can't stand each other, and they wind up really liking each other, but it's not a romance in that way. And it's a very funny movie. And Hanks wrote it and directed it, co-wrote it and directed it. And there's lots of cool people in it too, including Pam Grier is in this movie. And I really liked it. It's the kind of movie that they don't make much of anymore, and I wish they did. And it's a very independent kind of film, and I really enjoyed it. And that's my movies.
Thanks, Tim.
I found it pretty forgettable. I don't really remember much of anything in that.
Again, because I worked at a warehouse club, like it resonated with me big time.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw some of this on TV. That Matt Helm, is that like?
Yeah.
We talked about this, Tim and I, once. I was like, I could not believe Dean Martin in that for nothing. But I think, is it supposed to be comedy though? It is, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're comedies.
I can accept it because I'm like, he's not in fit. He's not in shape. I'm like, there you go. Interesting poster there.
Yeah. Archie knows a lot about this film.
Archie Bunker? I know. There you go. There's a question for you guys. Continental Europe? Anybody?
To go first?
Okay.
You?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I've been to France many times. My mum lives in France. Italy, Spain, Germany, Holland, Yugoslavia, where my dad was from. So I'm Yugoslav myself, I suppose. Africa, yes.
Africa. Wow. And what do you think when Americans say France instead of France?
That's not wrong. That's just different.
It's just, come on. It's got to be wrong.
You're saying the same word. You're just pronouncing it differently.
France, going to France. And so how about you, 4D? It just stays in the house, right?
In 1982, I got 2,000. In 1982, I got £2,000 worth of customized camera gear nicked in Amsterdam, and I went looking around the streets trying to find the bastard that took that bag. And there was this woman sort of posing in a window, smiling at me. And so I asked her, and she hadn't seen anything, but she kept on smiling.
Oh boy. Larry David has a new show about the forming of America.
I'm intrigued. I'll watch anything Larry David.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Curb Your Enthusiasm myself, but I have gotten sick of that for the last several seasons. I don't know. I like it. I still get the news. I still collect them when the new seasons come out. But after a while, it got to be very much the same.
Yeah, I think after about season 6, it got a little samey.
Yeah.
I've been to Greece too.
Oh, you've been to Greece?
Yeah, just thinking.
Okay.
There you go. There you go, 4D inspired.
Well, just like Joe Mayo's videos have inspired me to complain a lot. I'm not sure I'm passing on the right kind of influence myself by not leaving the house.
Yeah, I did a new video about that. That's not going well. That video. I think nobody understands it. I don't think. Well, you did. You understood it. I think 4D.
I like it, and also it was beautifully delivered. Actually, it's really quite professionally delivered, as if you were
really.
As if you were commissioned to act the part that was scripted for you. No, I'm not flattering you, Joe. I'm like you. I'll tell you straight. So if I'm telling you something, because that is my original response to you.
Oh no, I believe it. I just I know, like, I'm like, oh man, I hope I come out like decent, that so people can understand what the hell I'm saying, even.
Well, I got it, and I'm across the water.
Yeah, there you go. That's nice to know, because I hate my voice. I hate the way I speak. Oh,
no, you got a great voice, man. You got a great voice.
People say that. I don't get it. But hey, does anybody like the sound of his own voice? What do you think?
Good point.
I
think I sound terrible.
A few people.
No,
I'm sure there are people who do. There must be people who do. I bet.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can think of a few people who I would expect. Egotistical people.
Egotist.
Yeah. Some people have great voices. You know who had a good actor had a great voice was Gregory Peck.
Yes.
He had a great voice.
Imagine him making YouTube videos. I don't know about that. I'm with 4D, man. My back goes out more often than I do. Yeah, I got to get out. I mean, I have to get out. I mean, I've always been a homebody a lot when I was growing up. When I was a kid, I mean, I had a great childhood, and I'd be outside, I'd be playing. Believe me, I wasn't a hermit, but I really like to stay in a lot with my hobbies, watching the horror movies or comic books or whatever I was interested in, or building models. I also like being inside too. But these days, I mean, I like to get out every day if I can.
There's a funny line in a B movie. I forgot the name of the B movie, but Mel Wells. Remember Mel Wells? He was in the original Little Shop of Horrors. But there's another movie. So there's a boat that's wrecked, and his line is, he goes, "You want to see a wreck? Just look at my back."
Wow. Maybe I better watch that. Wait a minute. I just realized I don't want to cause any laughs.
I wonder if Sasha realizes you've created a running gag now about laughing and fainting. That's been run for quite a while. I realized it's based on a fundamental condition, but from that,
it's fine, because I can think something's funny and just not laugh, and
right?
Because it seems kind of serious. I'm wondering if that's you have to be like that.
No, I just thought of a line from Dr. Strangelove, a very, very funny line. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
War room.
All right. Yeah. So anyway, how do you like the depression that's going on?
That's
trying to I'm trying to think of something to bring you down.
Okay, thank you.
When I was a kid, I thought Gregory Peck. Go ahead.
Okay, I just realized that Sasha is the perfect recipient, for deadpan comics. Well, Sasha would be the deadpan recipient to a deadpan comic. He would give it him back in the same delivery. It would work really well.
Yeah.
Question for Sasha: how do you survive listening to Richard Pryor? Because he's very funny.
Oh, it's well, I haven't for a very long time.
Here you go. You're gonna make him think about it even. Well, I have a question for you. Did that ever happen when you were alone? It must have. Yes, you said in the car too, didn't you?
Yeah, it has. I watched these people. What are they called? Struggle Nation. They were eating.
Don't think about it. Just tell me what.
Well, they were eating, I came very close to fainting. Two of their videos. Wow. They had it was that film Saw. I've never seen it. The lead character, he was on a little tricycle, and it was so tiny, but he was causing a lot of havoc. But they were laughing, and laughing is infectious. When people laugh,
right.
So I nearly fainted when I saw that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It does. I just have to remember what might happen, and I try and stop it.
But if you're alone, does that happen like in the room or something where you are or something?
I haven't actually fainted when I've been by myself. It's always been with other people.
Oh, okay, that's good.
And
Yeah.
I'm usually sort of under the influence of something, so that makes
I did
laughing
see.
more,
I'm sorry. I just get jump at the bit.
more likely to happen when I'm not sober.
That's not good either. Then. Yes, I seen Borat in the theater. I thought it was very funny. Actually,
Did I talk
I
over
didn't
one of those lines, Joe? Not this one, but an earlier one that you flagged.
I don't know.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
I can't. I don't know. I just wing it. Just wing it.
Right.
There you go. Well, rewatched whatever that is. High Fidelity. I know.
High Fidelity is one of my favorite films. So I've seen High Fidelity
Yeah.
many times. One of my
I
favorite
like it a
modern
lot.
films. Anyway.
I like it. Yeah, I like when they're in the store and they're asking for the 5 top lists of death songs and stuff, and or
Well, I read the book, and
Uh-huh.
me and my wife were separating. And one day she hands me this book and says, "You need to read this. It's about you." And I
Oh,
read
really?
it, and it really was about me.
So was she not a fan of of record collecting and things like that?
No, she was actually fine with that. That was one of the
Okay.
musically we got along.
Yeah.
Is it about being a record nerd or a vinyl nerd or something?
Well, it's about and it's about everything being. It's hard to describe everything being in its own place and making lists and caring more about that than maybe you should about letting other things go. I mean, yeah. So I don't know.
30 minutes or less. I'm
That's
talking
based,
about.
it's based on real events, that film.
I don't know that film.
It's a film about a pizza delivery man who gets taken hostage by, and they strap a bomb to him.
Hmm.
Sounds wonderful.
So is can I talk about a movie or is
No, you're not allowed to talk about movies here at all.
Okay, I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
Oh, no.
We're trying to establish whether Joe's caught up to the end of the chat, and then
Yeah, well, now there's no
Something in.
comments here, so it's
there
perfect.
you go, John. Go for it, John. Fast.
Hurry up, get it in.
So Turner Classic showed Raw Deal. This is a twofer right here. It's Tiemann and Raw Deal.
Yeah.
And so I watched Raw Deal. I've seen it before. It's from 1948, directed by Anthony Mann. Has Dennis O'Keefe in it. He's in prison. He wants to get out because he was kind of like framed by some mob boss played by Raymond Burr. So he's got 2 women that visit him in prison. One of them is she loves him no matter what, even though he's into crime. The other one is more straight-laced and feels he should do his time and pay his debt. So the bad lady helps him break out of prison, and he gets out. And along the way, the car breaks down, and so he goes and visits the more straight-laced lady. And so what's interesting about this movie is that he's in film noir, you got the femme fatale, the fatal female that's going to bring down the guy. But in this movie, it's the opposite, where he's the homme fatale. He's the bad guy, and he's got 2 women interested. So it's like a love triangle. They both want this guy. So I won't give it away, but things happen, and it's a good movie. It's beautiful. It's the director of photography is John Alton, and I'm telling you, man, beautiful photography.
Yeah.
I mean, it's breathtaking because the black and white, the difference between the black and white is just awesome. There's some awesome scenes like where they're out in the wilderness because they're on the run, and they're stopped. They're out, and there's all these large trees, but the way the sun comes in through these trees is amazing. I mean, and there's so many moments in this movie where the photography is so good. I mean, it's like this is another element, another part of this, another dimension about this movie. It makes it so watchable.
Great.
And it just great. Raymond Burr is great too. And even Whit Bissell, we all know Whit Bissell.
Oh, I know
He
him from horror movies.
Yeah, he's everywhere. He's in so many movies and TV shows. He has a great moment. A
He's in
short little
Soylent Green too.
what do you have?
Soylent Green. He's even in that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a
Small
great
world.
film noir, and it's a must watch. I think. Yeah. So I don't know what happens, but Raymond Burr is a real jerk in this too. I mean, he don't give a shit, you know.
He was in every movie he ever made, I think. All
He played Bevis a lot.
Yeah.
So he was Ray Mason. He was a
Yeah.
bad guy in every film.
Exactly.
Raymond Burr.
Yeah, Raymond Burr.
He's, I have a movie, a Raymond Burr movie. I'm sure nobody's ever seen here. Bride of the Gorilla.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wasn't Raymond
comment.
Burr in Godzilla, the later Godzilla?
Well, in the Americanized version, not the official. That's the Japanese one. The Japanese one's much better.
There was a Howard Hawks produced movie with Robert Mitchum, and where Raymond Burr was a right bastard in that one. A real torture sadist on Robert Mitchum. Film noir.
Yeah, I want to show this book too. There's a good film noir encyclopedia, which is very helpful. It gives you a lot of information, a lot of detail on these movies. So I bought this many years ago. Still use it, still look at it. There's a lot of film noir books out there, but this one really does a trick for me.
Yeah.
Can you just flick through the pages very quickly, John? Just to show us what. No, I mean to camera, just to show us.
Yes. Hold on. Yeah, I'll show you.
How many pages are there? Like 700?
Oh God, let me see. I'll tell you. It's 500 pages or more. About 500 or under 500. Let's see. I have some paperwork in here too. God, I want to find. Let's see. Naked City. Naked City.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, it really breaks down the movie really well. A lot of
I've got that on Criterion.
yeah. And then also I kept when I went to the Egyptian theater for the Film Noir Fest, I would keep these film calendars.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and posted by Eddie Mueller
Yeah.
from. So I like
Cool.
this stuff. You know, I
Yeah.
kept a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is from 2003. So, and what I liked is you would go to that's upside down. You would go to the Egyptian, and they would put all these beautiful lobby cards and posters in the glass case, and I would go there like a day or two before they showed the movies, and you just browse and look at these things, and it was just great to look at. Those
In
posters.
In LA now, John, are there still retail shops on the street that sell film memorabilia?
You know what? I believe there's one or two still around. I haven't gone back. There's this one place I went to many years ago that sold old posters and lobby cards. I haven't gone in a while.
Okay.
Here's let's see, out of the paper here. Unless talking about film noir, here's the paper clipping.
That's nice.
Dangerous Liaisons.
Yeah.
And that's of course Double Indemnity.
Yes.
We've all seen that movie. What's interesting about this scene is
I haven't.
how the door of his apartment swings
Yeah.
out, not in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Right.
Just to work for that scene. I got some more goodies here and there. I got another one from 2009. And there's a couple of. Let's see what this is. I'm not sure what movie this is.
That's cool design.
Yeah. But and here's a film noir foundation. Okay. And Eddie Mueller.
At some point in your life, John, you went to town on film noir.
Oh, yeah, it was for I would say at least 6 or 7 years. I went regularly,
Right.
and it just was because you go there with all these hardcore fans of these movies, and they're serious. And I had some great memories of standing in line buying a ticket, and it's kind of cold and maybe a little rainy outside. But once you get your ticket and you go inside, you're nice and comfortable. It's comfortable
Yeah.
inside. You go, oh, I'm inside now, and you just
Yeah.
sit and watch this movie. It's just then the movie's over. Then you walk out, and it's still a little cold and rainy, it adds to that feeling of film noir. You know,
For sure.
Yeah.
Shame it's not in black and white. Yeah.
You know what? In White Heat, you know, with James Cagney, I'm sure you guys have seen that.
That I've seen.
Yeah. You know how they put on that truck they're driving, they put like a homing beacon on it, and the police are following him, and they're naming the streets that he's on. The interesting thing is those exact streets are passing by near my home.
Wow.
It's like going past my house, going towards Alhambra. I'm like, my God, I'm watching this movie. Like if this is taking place out here right now, you know. So you know that's
That's my new thing I do.
you know what I'm not sure about. I haven't seen that.
I've seen it, but
I would say yes. I would say yes.
and I own it. I don't remember it. I saw it many years ago.
What
I
year
would
is that
say
movie?
yes.
What year is it?
40-something.
Who directed it? Who's in
Yeah,
it?
late 40s, I think.
Who
Post
directed it?
World War II, late 40s. I can't remember the guy's name.
Is Laird Krieger in it? In that one? Oh no, the lodger.
Yeah, that might be the guy. Big guy. Didn't
Yeah.
live very long.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Not John Garfield.
No, Laird Krieger.
No. Yeah. I mean, really big guy. Didn't live very long.
When I listened. Okay. Anyway, one of my least favorite Bond movies. I don't care what everybody says about it. Yeah. They don't even show you enough of they're all of a sudden Bond is getting married and they don't show you enough of the relationship to see why she's the one. I don't know. I always hate that about that movie personally.
Well,
And everybody loves it.
They killed it.
What's this?
Ticket stub.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some of the movies. Yeah, you know what? I don't know why I kept them, but I just kept them just for the
Yeah, I used to keep some of them.
$9, 2006.
2006.
Yep.
By the way, I wanted to say this before. Marty is one of my personal favorite movies of all time.
Oh, and Frank Sutton is in that, right? Frank Sutton,
But
isn't he?
What part does he have? Oh, he plays one of the friends, doesn't
He's
he?
a friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like Frank Sutton.
I have to see He Walks by Night. Sounds good, and I like the shots like John described of the sunlight through the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get like a good cinematographer, like one that comes to my mind is his name Gordon Willis.
Yeah.
I really like his photography.
Yep.
And there was a really crappy, one of the worst movies I remember at the time, I thought, worst movies I ever saw in the theater. I saw it with my sister. I only remember going with my sister, the two of us, to the movies twice. And just the two of us. And that was one of them. And we saw this movie called Windows from 1980 with Talia Shire. And I forget, was it Elizabeth Ashley? I don't know. Anyway, it was a terrible movie. We talked before about, let's put, Talia Shire. You can't watch everything you say. She's a woman who gets, I think the word now is use the grape. She gets graped. And her neighbor has designed, like is interested in her, lust for her, and that's a woman, So they played up that kind of angle a lot back then. But it was a really bad movie, I thought, and one of the worst movies. But I remember the cinematography was done by Gordon Willis, so the cinematography looks good. But it's a terrible movie, I thought. Then and now I got a copy of it finally because I wanted to see it again. And it's one of those movies.
Has anyone ever seen a movie called The Window from 1949?
The Window.
The Window.
No, I don't think
it stars Bobby Driscoll, this child actor. Okay, so this guy, they live like in New York in these apartments. So he witnesses a murder on another floor, okay? Because he goes out on the fire escape and he sees a murder. But nobody believes him when he talks about it. Nobody believes him because he's known to make up stuff. Okay. Good movie. Should see it. Black and white. Kind of a film noir also. But this guy, Bobby Driscoll, this guy had a terrible. He used to star in some Disney movies. He had a great start as a child actor, but his adult life went to pieces because he no longer could get work. He had skin problems, acne, and all that. And his life went downhill. He had a sad ending. He ended up on drugs and broke and died on the streets of New York. And he was discovered. Nobody knew who he was. He was a John Doe until they later discovered he was Bobby Driscoll. But yeah, check out The Window. It's a good movie.
I have to start wrapping this up, guys. I'm afraid. No Way Out. Oh, that's what Sean Young is in that too, I think. It's the movie I'm thinking of. I've never seen it, but I know of it. Well,
it's a remake. I know that. But I
yeah.
don't know if I've seen
I remember
the whole
hearing
thing.
that.
If we're going to talk about what we've watched, you might like this, Joe, because the last
go
film
ahead.
I saw was this.
Oh, is that your first viewing of it?
No, I saw it years ago, but
Oh, yeah.
I started seeing it a very long time. It was on this Arrow set.
Oh, yeah. I
I
just
just
picked
watched
that
it
up.
yesterday. And it's a lot more violent than I remember it being.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those transforming movies that I saw in my life as a child in the movie theater. Before there was the Terminator and
Of course, yeah.
some other things on a big screen,
Michael Myers.
Yeah, before there was Michael Myers, and it was like really, really kind of scary. What I like about that movie is it starts out like fun. It's fun, like just get together and have a ball at a Western
what
town.
what could possibly go wrong?
Nothing. And yeah, is that? Do you see anything else, or is that you want to show anything else? Or
Well, yeah, I picked it up because others wouldn't show. I saw this. I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, so I saw his film, the 4:30 movie, and I absolutely, completely enjoyed it. I really had a good time with this.
yeah, 4:30 movie used to be on in New York, and it's 4:30 every afternoon.
I did buy just the disc for cheap, so I had to make this sleeve, but I do that anyway, so there was no problem. Yeah, his most personal film, his most intimate film, his most true to life film.
All righty. Anything else, sir? Before I don't want to. Okay. All right. Well, guys, this is another fun Barrel of Monkeys. This was fun, and thank you everybody in the comments. Thank you, and lots of fun. We try to do this just about every Monday. So, wait a minute. Oh yeah, Mix 64 just arrived. No Way Out is a remake of The Big Clock with Ray Milland.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I thought there was also another film called No Way Out. So,
I think there was, but I think The Big Clock came first.
Sure. All right, fellas. So thank you all. Appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. I never say that, do I? Everybody subscribe who's ever here. Subscribe. I'm still thinking of some changes with the channel. Yeah, I'm thinking of making some changes, but I got some ideas in my head. I'll tell you what they are anyway. I like all kinds of movies. I do, all genres. But just like with music, the Beatles are my favorite. Horror and science fiction are my favorite genres. So I was thinking of maybe going back to, I haven't decided for sure, making this a real horror science fiction centric channel. That doesn't mean we don't do this show. That's fine. But I'm still going to review movies that are non-horror, like all these things that I bought here, But the question is, I'm trying to decide whether, if I should do them in those where I said capsule type reviews, where I say what I watched lately, or maybe call them non-horror movies I watched lately. Like anything not horror, I do in that thing where I go through 10 movies in one video. But horror has its own dedicated videos. I'm thinking of that. I don't know yet, because sometimes there's going to be a movie, like, for example, like Casablanca or something like that. Like if I was going to do Casablanca, wouldn't I want to dedicate a whole video to that, not just throw it in the middle as a footnote with some other movies? These are the kind of things that plague you when you're trying to figure a channel out and what to do. So that's it. Anybody got any opinions, let me know. All right, so we will see y'all hopefully next week. Be well, everybody.
So long, folks.